Hello everybody, Mr. Rubo here. I'm going to talk a little bit more with z-scores. So we kind of left off with finding the z-score and then finding the percentage by doing the normal CDF in the calculator. Now we're going to get a slightly different problem here. And so here it says at a ski area in Colorado, the daytime high temperature is normally distributed during February with a mean of 24 degrees and a standard deviation of 9 degrees Fahrenheit. You're planning to ski there this February. Draw a normal curve with mean and standard deviation labeled. Alright, so if we want to draw out this curve, which we'll use for both problems, pretend that was a straight line, and then we got our bell curve here, probably more symmetric than normal. So 24 is our mean, and I'm going to go up and down by 9 for each tick mark. But really what we're looking for in this problem is we are looking for the middle 80%. So in part A, we're looking for this middle 80%. So we're trying to figure out what this number is and what this number is. Okay, so x1, x2. Alright. So if you're doing this without a calculator, you're going to do the z-score formula and kind of work backwards to figure that out. But we are allowed our calculator, so what we're going to do is you're going to go to your calculator, good old TI-84, whatever you have, and for the TI-84, you're going to do second vars, okay, and I'll write it out on the screen. And the reason why we choose vars is because right above it, it says DSTR for distribution. We're going to select the third option, which is inverse normal. Okay, and this is the option that we're going to choose whenever they give us the percentage and they want us to find the interval that you can expect. Okay, so now depending on how new or old your calculator is, you may have one of two things show up. If it just shows up and it says inverse norm like this, you've got an older version of the calculator. Not as nice. You got to actually do a little bit more work. You actually have to do it twice to figure it out. But if this comes up, where you get the little menu, you can just type in the percentage you want. So type it as 0.8. Okay, then the mu, remember again, is the mean, which they gave us is 24. Standard deviation of 9, so that's your sigma. And then the tail part, that's going to change depending on what this is. So here we're looking for the middle 80%, so you choose the center. You then just hit paste, then you hit enter, and it gives you your answer right away. No issue there. So this is 12.5 degrees, and this one would be 35.5 degrees. Okay, and they should be equidistant from your mean because it's normally distributed, so you have that symmetry. Okay, if though you have an older calculator, work is a little bit tougher because your calculator can only do a left side one. So what you're basically going to do is you actually have to do it twice, where you have to think, okay, well, this part over here, so I'll highlight it, from negative infinity all the way up to here, your calculator figures out that spot. So you would put point. Now this is the other part that's a little tricky, is figuring out what you put in. So when we think about this, this is 50%. So this would be 0.5, right? We want, so that'd be 0.5 is lower, 0.5 is higher. So if we're going 80%, we want 40 below and 40 above. So this would actually be 0.1, okay? And then it's comma. Then it would be your mean, so 24, then your standard deviation of 9. You hit enter, and it will give you the 12.5 degrees. Well, degrees in this case, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to do inverse norm again, but now it's to find this one all the way over here. So now you're going to do, instead of 0.8, because this is actually not at 0.8, it's actually at point, like it's at, because where the calculator goes, it goes from negative infinity to this point, that would actually be 90% of your data, which, so you're going to do inverse norm 0.9, 24, 9, you hit enter, and you get a 35.5 degrees. So if you have the new calculator, it's really nice. You don't have to do it twice. But if you don't, you type both these in, and you'll get each answer separately. Okay. Now, let's see this question. Same distribution, same situation, but now it says it will be over what temperature 5% of the days in February. So now we're looking for, on this thing, where there's going to be 5% that we're caring about over here. Well, for this for our calculation, same idea. Second vars, inverse norm. And so this one, it's really nice, since we're doing the same problem, you just type in the mu and the sigma the same, but now our area is going to be, we could type in one of two things. We could either type in the 5%, and then we want the right side, so we would select right, or I'm going to do 0.95 as my area, and then a 24 and a 9, and I'm going to select left, because I want 95% of my data on the left side. And when you do that, so you have it look like this, okay, and you hit enter, enter again, and you can see we get 38.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. The reason why I also did it left is because now if you're doing it with the old calculators, you type in 0.95, comma, 24, comma, 9, hit that, and you get 38.8 as well. Okay, so I like, if it's looking for top 5% or whatever, I always think of it as a left side of it, just because that's also how the old calculators do it as well. Okay, so let's do one more example together, and then I'll leave it at that. So here, the average salary of a non-tenured teacher is $43,000. Okay, so that's our mean, and then they tell us our standard deviation is 2,000. We're assuming normality, so we could draw the label the normal curve, but now, so we're looking for the middle 50%. So once again, I'm going to do it with my calculator because it's what I have available to me. So I'm going to say second distribution, inverse norm, alright, inverse norm, and then nice thing with the new ones is you literally type in 0.5 for 50%, type in your new mu, so 43,000, type in your standard deviation, your sigma, and then select center if it's not already selected, and you'll have it look like this, and you hit enter, enter again, and you'll see that the lowest number is 41,651 and 2 cents. That's dollars. And the high end of this is 98 cents. $44,348.98. Yes, that is a 4. Okay. So yeah, and then the last one, under what salary are the lowest 20%? So just real quick as a quick drawing. So I want the lowest 20%, so that would be this area down here. So, just like before, inverse norm. Okay. This time I want lowest 20, so I'm going to choose 0.2 because I want the lowest 20%, so the left side 20%. Mu is 43,000, sigma is 2,000, but now I want the left tail, because this is the left side. So if you're not sure, like left, center, or right, draw the curve. You'll see it, and then like you want lowest, so that's this side, and that's the left side. Okay, So now you just go right to the calculator, and we get $41,316.76. Okay. So yeah, just do an inverse norm on the calculator. Could do it by hand, but then you have to look up things in the table, and it's just more work than it's needed. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a good one.